Get in, tap the screen, share the live. Go ahead and send your daily heart. Me, it's only one coin. It will help boost the live and push us out to the FYP if you don't mind. If you don't mind, go ahead and do that. Also, we have the daily gift goal, which is the little love you very much. Can we send those, please? Why do I keep disappearing? That's weird. I'll fix that. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. All right. While I fix that, let's go ahead and get it cranked up.
You stepped in the box. Now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk.
What?
Scramble like a glitch.
What?
I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit. Yeah.
Step in if you dare.
Truth hit hard
like a punch in the air.
Ain't no rules, no plan, no script.
One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield.
Better know your stuff or you get revealed.
Hey.
Step in, don't you wanna?
Sparring with Santana. What's going on?
Facts only if not get clapped down. Whether you're left or right or you don't even vote. If your logic is weak,
I'll sink your boat.
You talk slick, but you ain't got source. Just vibes, that ain't power, that's force. I'm the test, the trap, the trip, the call.
What?
You slip once, I'm snatching it all.
Hey, step in if you dare.
You dare. Get hard
like a punch in the air.
Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. Yeah.
One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield.
Better know your stuff or you get revealed.
Step in, don't you wanna?
Sparring with Santana. Step in if you dare.
What's going on, beautiful people?
Hey. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. One wrong move, get cooked real quick.
No cap, no shield.
Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. Yeah.
That's weird.
This ain't a safe place. This is place. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana.
Hey, welcome in. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Friday. Guys. This is Sparring with Santana. What does that mean? That means we are looking for some debates. Disingenuous. Okay, cool. Hey, guess what? I'm going to go ahead and send you a request to get in the box, and I'm going to mute you because you know what? I don't really care what you have to say from the chat. I would like for you to get in the box. Get in the box. We're looking for some debates. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. We are only looking to speak with Trump supporters. Please do not request. Remember to mute my backup. Do not request up if you are not a Trump supporter. We are not talking to friendlies. We are only looking for some debates. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. Yeah, you did. You just missed the intro. Like literally just missed it.
Let's talk about Kimmel.
Sure. I think I talked to you before.
It doesn't matter.
No, it does. How do I say your username again?
Yatu Savas or J Rez. You probably know. Yeah.
J Rez.
Yeah, you know who J Rez is.
Oh my God, I forgot about you. You used to be such a fan. How are you doing?
Oh, fan? Oh no, I think I checkmated you a couple times in your show. Then you booted me.
You never did.
We both know you did. So let's talk about Kimmel.
Not yet, J Rez.
So why?
J Rez, it's been a while since you've been around.
No, I've been around.
I know you. Oh, okay, cool. Well, let's act like you've been here before then. So with that being said, we're going to give everyone a quick introduction to not only who I am, but what this is.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are someone that supports Donald Jimothy Trump, get in the box. We are only looking for some debates, guys. Please do not request up if you are not a Trump supporter. We are not looking to talk to friendlies. We are only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, do all the wonderful things. Tap the screen, share the live. We are going to go ahead and get started here. We have J-Rez. Got J-Rez. J-Rez, I know you know who I am, and you came in kind of hot because you had something specific that you wanted to actually talk about. So,
well, yeah,
J-Rez, we're going to get right into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
J-Rez?
the first thing you have there, Jimmy Kimmel. So.
Okay. Hey, remember what like impulse control is?
Oh, I don't think anybody could have that with a liberal. I think you got to get medicated for that, and
so,
I refuse to get medicated.
The thing about me, J-Rez, is I pride myself on being better every single day. And when I pride myself on being better every single day, that means that I no longer do the things that I did before. So, yes, there used to be a time where I would, yell and scream and crash out with you, but I'm not doing that. So, J-Rez, this is the only warning and the only request. Please, let's have a civil conversation back and forth. Let's not yell over each other or, do the crazy things. I mean, I would really like to actually have a debate and start off. So just putting a request out there. Okay.
Awesome request. I respect it.
Perfect. So, J-Rez, you want to talk about Jimmy Kimmel, and that's perfectly fine. I want to make sure that we expand this because my premise is that MAGA is okay with the actual abolishment, not necessarily abolishment, but you guys are willing to give up your First Amendment right just because you want to, quote unquote, own the libs. What say you?
All right, so let's talk about free speech, right? So the only thing free speech actually does is prevent you from going to jail from talking it, right? It doesn't prevent you from getting fired. It doesn't prevent you from getting, let me finish.
But that's not true.
Right. So yes, it is.
No. That's not true.
So let me finish, and then you can rebuttal.
But no,
I thought you wanted a civil conversation.
I do, but you're lying. That's not true.
Well, let me dig my own grave, and then you could dig it some more. So let me finish.
Misinformation.
Have me the dignity.
I'll let you finish, but just to correct you, that's not what free speech is. Free speech, the First Amendment right.
Well, now this is the debate I didn't want, right? You keep interrupting me because
the First Amendment right
checkmate the hell
allows you from being able to be persecuted by the government for the things that you say. Now
okay, may I continue? Thank you.
Yes.
So free speech, you don't have the right not to get fired because of free speech. You don't have the right not even to get unalived from free speech, because that just happened with Charlie Kirk, correct? So the only protection you have from free speech is jail time, my friends. That's it. Keep it real. So let's talk about Jimmy Kimmel, right? Okay. Jimmy Kimmel just got fired because of FCC guidelines.
You're speeding past, J-Rez, you're speeding past your first point, trying to move on to your second point. Let's talk about your first point. Your first point is wrong. No, freedom of speech does not mean that the only thing that you're protected from is going to jail. That's not what that is. You should probably go check the Constitution and look at First Amendment right. It gives you protections from getting fired? It gives you protections protections from the government actually retaliating or actually attacking you in any type of way for your actual speech, for the things that you're saying. So that means that the government cannot jail you for the things that you're saying. The government cannot force your employer to fire you because of the things you're saying. The government cannot stop giving you certain type of access, right? Your constitutional rights because of free speech. Like that, it covers those types of things. Like it's not just about going to jail.
You didn't make any sense, honestly. So
you didn't even correct me. You think that all it is that it means you don't go to jail. It's not
the reason. So
okay. So tell me one more time what you think that's covered under free speech or freedom of speech with the First Amendment.
It doesn't cover you from getting fired. It doesn't cover you from getting unalived. It doesn't cover you from anything else.
Tell me what you think it covers you from.
That's it. I just told you before. That's my specific. That's my specific statement on free speech.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Hold on a second. All right. So looking at the U.S. Constitutional, the Library of Congress, the U.S. Constitution. Let me make this a little bit bigger so I can see it better. The First Amendment right protects people from government infringement on their right to the freedom of speech. Freedom. Oh, thank you for the keyboards. What up, E? Freedom of religion, speech, and the press, assembly, and petition. This means the government, including federal and state government, through Supreme Court interruptions, cannot pass laws or establish a religion, prohibit from free exercise of religion, restrict what you can say, censor the press, prevent you from gathering peacefully, or stop you from requesting the government address grievances. So again, it's not just, oh, it protects you from going to jail. That's you're wrong. You're literally wrong.
No, I'm not. Because it actually does that.
You said the only thing that it does is protect you from going to jail.
Does it not?
No, that's not the only thing that it does.
But so I did state something correct then.
What did you say? Tell me what you said again.
I stated that free speech prevents you from going to jail.
No, you didn't. Now you're changing it. Now you're changing it. You said the only thing that free speech does is prevent you from going to jail. You said the only thing.
Technically,
meaning there's nothing else.
Technically, yes. And I'm going to explain how.
Technically nothing.
And I'm going to explain how.
No.
Well, if you don't let me explain how, then the conversation's over.
You can, but you're wrong.
I can have
the conversation can be over, but you're wrong. You haven't even gotten out of the blocks and you're wrong.
That's your assumption.
No, it's not an assumption. You're literally wrong.
Yeah, well, you would have to let me speak.
You've already spoke, and I tried to get you to clarify, and you kept doubling and tripling down on only. You're wrong. And you can't even admit that you're wrong. It's weird.
Would you let me speak to clarify?
Like, we're literally just having a conversation. All you have to do is admit that you were wrong on that, and you can keep moving.
You keep talking. I can't talk.
Admit that you were wrong, and then we can.
I'm not going to admit that I was wrong because I didn't finish my statement.
Did you or did you not say the only thing that it does is protect you from going to jail?
Technically, yeah.
Okay, then you're wrong.
And if you'll let me,
sure, go ahead. But technically, you're wrong.
No. So if you'll let me finish my statement.
Sure, go ahead. But technically, you're wrong.
So can it prevent you from getting fired?
Yes.
So you're telling me if I speak a certain way in a hospital area and I'm a nurse and I spew hate about a certain race or a certain politic, let's say.
Now you're trying to actually specifically pick something that would be outside of the realm. So let me read this again.
So you can actually get fired.
Understand it. J-Rez, I'm going to read this again for you. And again, this comes from the Library of Congress. The First Amendment primarily protects people from government infringement on their rights of freedom of religion, speech, the press, assembly, and petition. This means the government, including federal and state government, through Supreme Court interpretation, cannot pass laws that establish a religion, prohibit free exercise of religion, restrict what you say.
Monologuing this bullshit, bro. Honestly, let me continue my statement.
Restrict what you say, censor the press, prevent you from gathering peacefully, or stop you from requesting that the government address grievances.
You can't answer my question, can you?
So, with that being said,
here's the thing, bro.
The actual First Amendment right not only protects you from the government, but it protects you in multiple ways from the government.
Are you done muting?
Rez, would you like to address the fact that you were wrong? And
I'd like to address my statements.
Sure.
If you'll let me talk and not mute me. Thank you. So my original question when I told you.
No. Don't,
free
not the
speech
original question. I don't want to go to your question. I want you
from
to
getting
address what we've been
fired?
talking about.
And you can answer that.
Hey, I
Can
would
free
like for you to
speech
address what
prevent you
we've been
from
talking
getting
about.
fired?
Yes, I've literally said yes,
Okay,
and I've
then
just told you how.
checkmate. You are wrong. You cannot speak as you want at a workplace where you don't own that company. You could get fired. If you talk about race, politics, that's a point of view of your personal feelings. It does not go with the circumstances or the beliefs of that company. So they could fire you. You are wrong. That is the checkmate.
Hey, Jay Rez, I have a question for you.
Is what you do when you get checkmated? You start asking questions with when I just answered your whole thing.
I have a legitimate question for you.
This is crazy, bro.
Sure. Does it hurt?
You can't conceive. That's the thing, bro.
No, serious question, Jay
You
Rez.
can't.
Does it hurt?
You can't. You really
J-Rez.
cannot
J-Rez.
have a genuine
Yes or no,
freaking
does it hurt?
conversation because I just
J-Rez,
checkmated you completely.
Does it hurt? Or you can just ask what.
Do you want to talk about Jimmy Kimmel, or you want to be in your feelings?
I would like for you to tell me, does
so
it
you
hurt?
want to
Yes
be
or
in
no?
your feelings?
Yes or no? Or
you
you
want
can
to
just
be
ask,
in your
what
feelings.
am I talking about?
So this is a waste of time then. I'll just jump on another panel and another liberal, and I'll check
You know
them.
what it is? You know
and
what
I'll cook them.
Because
I cooked.
This is not an airport. You can leave. And the question is, does it hurt being that stupid? It has to hurt being that stupid. There's no way. There's no way. Yeah, you got cooked low key, gosh. Okay, cool. Come up here and tell me how I got cooked. I don't think you guys understand anything. I'm going to mute you. And I'm going to answer what he was saying because I want to address that.
What's up,
good.
man?
J-Mel, tell me how I got cooked.
Bro, because you're not responding to him and now you're like performing ad hominems now.
I'm not. Question for you.
You are. You just called him an idiot. That's an ad
because he was
hominem.
stupid.
That's an ad hominem.
No, it was me telling him directly he's stupid. Question for you. He said that the only thing that the First Amendment does is protect you from going to jail. That was his words. That's what he said. The only thing that it does is protect you from going to jail. I read all of the protections of the First Amendment right. I can read it for you if you would like.
Okay.
Would you like me to?
Yeah, I think you read it already, but you can repeat it.
Sure. I'll read this. So, and this is from the Library of Congress. The First Amendment right primarily protects people from government infringement on their rights to freedom of religion, speech, the press, assembly, and petition. This means the government, including the federal and state government through Supreme Court interpretation, cannot pass laws that establish a religion, prohibit freedom of speech, freedom of exercise of religion, restrict what you say, censor the press, prevent you from gathering peacefully, or stop you from requesting that the government address grievances. So, Joe Mel, I just read all of those actual things that the First Amendment does. Now, again, he doubled and tripled down, saying that the only thing that it does is stop you from going to jail. Is that an accurate statement? Yes or no?
No, but then he changed his stance, though.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. He was wrong. And that's what I said. All he had to do is admit that he's wrong. Now, his clarification point was you can't go to work and then just say whatever you want, and you can't say hateful stuff. And again, that's not what I said. That's not the point. I've never said that you can just say whatever you want. But the point is that the government cannot pressure your employer to fire you as retaliation. That's the point.
Yeah, but didn't he ask you if free speech protects you from getting fired? You said yes.
It does.
No, it doesn't, though. They can fire you and you can file a lawsuit, but they can still fire you, though.
Technically, yes. Technically, you're absolutely correct. If you want to put it that way. But again, it's put in place to actually stop you from situations that we see the government forcing private entities to fire people.
100%. I agree with you. 100%.
Right.
No,
And
but
so
like,
that's what I'm saying. And he literally just doubled down and said that, well, it can't stop you from being fired. Yeah, like that's literally that's one of the things that the actual Supreme Court has ruled on to keep people from losing their jobs, losing their livelihoods, and being locked up because of their beliefs and what they say.
mhm.
Now, your employees can try to justify it by other means, but to your point, if you actually sue them and go to court, then you'll get your day in court, and it'll be judged whether you're right or they're right. But it's a protection that's put in place.
That's what I'm saying though. Like just because you filed a lawsuit, yeah, like some people have won, but some people have lost as well. You know,
I agree.
That's really the only thing that I was saying that like he got you on, because like you didn't want to answer that question.
He didn't like, and see, that's the point. He's unwilling to he was unwilling to actually admit that he didn't know what he was talking about, because yes, he had to try to figure out a way to say something different, because he said the only thing that it did was stop you from going to jail. But also my point is, does it guarantee you that you cannot be fired? No. Can it protect you from being fired for utilizing your First Amendment? Yes. That's the point.
No, yeah, 100%. But that's not what you had said at first, though. Oh, okay. That's okay.
But he was so unwilling to actually engage in a conversation, because I've talked to him a million times. He doesn't know things. Like, it's weird that like he doesn't know things and he's unwilling to actually engage in a conversation.
No, but I mean, like, that's why I disagree. Like, I feel like he was trying to engage the conversation, but you weren't. Like at the end there, like you just kept on like repeating yourself, and then you started asking him like a question, like I don't want to say a dumb question, but like an irrelevant question. You know, you didn't really want to engage with.
Because I don't let people pivot off of the point, and I make them prove the things that they say. And when you try to listen, are you a Trump supporter?
No.
Who'd you vote for?
I didn't vote, actually. I didn't really like. I don't really like to. Because to be honest with you, bro, like either way, I feel like I couldn't really support like either candidate. You know. I know like some people say that like you shouldn't be speaking on politics if that's the case, but that really doesn't make no sense, because regardless, everything's going on in politics. But everything in politics is still going to affect me whether or not I vote.
I agree with your statement.
I
agree with your statement.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, like,
I know that there's people like, oh, no vote, no voice. Like, I disagree, because I think the people that didn't vote, those are the people that we really need to be talking to, because I mean, there's 10 to 20 million people that made a decision just not to vote, like you. And I think it's important to have these conversations with you. Now, look, go
ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I was kind of on the fence, like low key, like I wanted to vote for Trump, but then it was like, I don't know, because there's a lot of shit he says that, like, I can't really get back behind. Like his whole party, MAGA, is definitely racist. You know what I'm saying? And they just not really good, like, for America, I feel like. So I couldn't really like I couldn't find myself supporting him, even though I kind of did want to vote for him. But if I could go back, like, and I had to vote, knowing what I know now, I think I will vote for Harry, because I really don't like the direction that things are going. Like all I heard from MAGA was, oh, the Constitution, we gotta protect it, we can't change it. But now when Trump is talking about taking away birthright citizenship, and now we have the First Amendment in question, which it already was, because the Democrats were kind of doing like something similar as well. But regardless of the fact, now that Trump is doing it, they're okay with it, which is like very hypocritical.
What were the Democrats doing?
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, I can't really like remember right now, but they definitely were. Like, if you were, like, for example, like if you're a Trump supporter, they tried to silence you. Like Facebook as well. When the pandemic, I don't know if I can say that, but when the pandemic was going on, Mark Zuckerberg came out and he said that Joe Biden's administration was telling him to censor people when it came to, like, quote unquote exposing or like giving their opinion on like what was going on.
Right. I mean, do you know what he actually said? I mean, what Zuckerberg actually said and what he testified about?
All I know is that he said something that they were pressured by the Biden administration to censor people. It was something along those lines.
It wasn't. And see, that's a problem. It's a lot of conflation as far as what was actually said, and people try to take it and run. he said that he felt pressured, not that they pressured him, but he felt pressured to remove misinformation and disinformation, because they were talking about the amount of misinformation and disinformation that was being spread around the time of the pandemic. And think about it. People were literally losing their life. They were ingesting bleach. They were taking horse heart dewormer. Like, it was a lot.
That was actually proven to be an effective treatment for COVID, though. Like now,
it wasn't.
Like now it's proven to be effective. And
ivermectin is not.
It was.
It's not.
All right.
Based off of what study?
Like I said, bro, I'm not gonna be able to like cite everything for you, but it definitely works.
Where did you get that information from?
So first, you're gonna laugh, right? And you're gonna like not like what I'm saying this, but first it was Joe Rogan, and I'm not saying he's a doctor. I'm not saying that.
Did you hear what Joe Rogan said about? Did you hear what Joe Rogan said about people who take his advice on like health?
I don't know. Yeah, of course he's gonna make the disclaimer to not take any.
No. He didn't make a disclaimer. Joe Rogan said you have to be out of your effing mind if you take his advice on health.
Yeah, that's a disclaimer.
Why would people listen to me? No, that's not a disclaimer. Brother. He was like, "Why would you listen to me?" He said, "I'm not a doctor."
He said, "Well, not to listen." For example, right? Like I watched a lot of like videos.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
Take video in the beginning of the video.
You're breaking up. Give it a second. You're breaking up. I'm gonna go ahead and just mute you because you're breaking up. You're breaking up. I'm just gonna go ahead and I don't know what's going on. Give you a mute. Hey, Mrs. Carter. How are you?
I don't really understand how this is a crazy controversial conversation.
It's not. Give it a moment. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The issue is not Jimmy Kimmel being fired. The issue is Brendan Carr's hand in the firing of Jimmy Kimmel.
It is.
The FCC, a government entity, should not be able to threaten or pressure a distributor, a television company, a media network, the press in any capacity to do anything at their company. So I don't know why this is so hinged on like, well, liberals and cancel culture, Republicans and cancel culture. This should be a massive issue for everyone. For everyone. Every single person should be upset about this.
Well, and you know what? I've been telling people, like, I think that it's funny. Multiple things. One, Brandon Carr, did you see his tweet? Like,
yes, yes.
Like they're saying Project 2025 was like they're openly admitting Project 2025 was the plan.
Like that is the literal issue. It's not if Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had terrible ratings, which he did have, if he was fired because he wasn't funny, which I would agree, nobody would care. It is solely the aspect of the FCC, which Brendan Carr of the FCC corroborated and gloated about on Twitter, pressured a private network to fire someone for making jokes about the president. That's the whole issue. If Ted Cruz can even see an issue with that,
you beat me to it.
We are. This is not. I don't know why. Like, and this is the thing that really frustrates me about Americans, because unlike a lot of people, I love America and I love Americans, and I will say that proudly. But I truly wish that the American people would set aside this party war and this cheerleading for a second to recognize when they are being attacked solely by the government, regardless of which government is in power. This is a clear breach and attack on free speech, and you should be upset about it, regardless of who you align with.
Yeah, I completely agree. And what I was saying is, and I said this earlier, fucking sucks when the worst person you know makes a good point. And when I have to agree with Ted Cruz, you know something is like really off.
It's insane. Tucker Carlson got it. We have,
the worst people you know, when you have to fucking agree with them, you know that. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And then there is the counter argument. And again, I hope that people are making this in good faith and they truly don't understand it. But people will say, like, well, you didn't care when Trump was banned from Twitter. You didn't care. First of all, I did care. I am a free speech absolutist. But that is not. The issue is not just people being removed from spaces. The issue is not just people being fired. A specific box has to be ticked for this to be an issue that everyone should be upset about. If the government pressures or influences a private business to remove somebody, then we can have an issue. If a private company of its own volition determines that you are violating their terms of service and remove you, that's not the same thing as your free speech being limited. They're not in the same house.
It is not. You know what's funny though, and I've said this to a few people. I don't understand people that have all this energy for Jimmy Kimmel, but no energy for Brian Kilmeade, right? And like for him to say what he said, and then it directly led to unhoused people getting shot at. There were multiple encampments shot up right after it happened, after he said that. But like they're not saying anything about that.
I don't think people remember. I don't think and this sounds crazy because it just happened. And I know a lot of people did know and did get upset, but I don't think, quote unquote, the masses know. I think there has been so much going on this week that blip on Fox News, which did get some attention and did get some flack, I think it was immediately overshadowed by the conversation about Jimmy Kimmel and by the conversation of the Epstein files. Like, I genuinely think people saw it and it immediately left their mind because he was insane for saying that. It was insane.
Yeah. I heard it. It didn't surprise me. And also it made me realize that like these are the type of conversations that they have in public. Like they're literally saying the quiet part out loud because they know for a fact that there's no repercussions now. Like they can get away with doing the things. And again, like for me, freedom of speech, I was talking to someone about this last night, and he was at the same point as you as far as like being an absolutist, but I'm kind of along the lines of what Pam Bondi just said, which again, I don't agree with bad people. And at first I didn't agree with her until she cleaned it up. I give you freedom of speech until your speech incites violence.
Correct.
Like if your speech incites violence.
I agree.
That is typically the line when you say free speech absolutist. They misquote that whole fire in a theater, blah, blah, blah. The unfortunate thing is I feel like she's saying that with a context that I'm not going to agree with. But in theory, yes.
But I talked to a guy last night who was like, no speech should have any type of connection to or consequences. He said that it doesn't work that way. And I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I'm like, the thing about people who will say there's a certain level of only operating in a state of theory where you're like, okay, I could get this if every aspect of the world worked exactly as I theorized. But then you have reality where you recognize that you have to have certain things for a society to function. And I feel like that's a familiar route to walk down when you talk about taxes. If you talk to people about taxes, their theory or their ideal is like, nobody should pay taxes ever. But unfortunately, in a society that just does not work. So the money is going to be spent. You then have to have a conversation about where the money is going to be spent. And so I hear people when they say like, no speech should ever be censored. But it's like, yeah. And then you try that out for a couple years and you see how quickly things go downhill because a lot of people are out of their minds.
Yeah.
But
I say this all the time.
There's always been a limit to free speech. I'm sorry. There's always been a limit to free speech. Like, for example, like you can't just go in a movie theater and scream fire. That's like a felony or something like that. I know it's illegal. You can't just say whatever you want.
Let me do this real quick. Denisha, so I know you don't normally debate. Do you want to join me for a while, or were you just swinging through? Because like I got this guy down here and he keeps wanting to join our conversation, and I'm actually enjoying talking to you, but I feel like I need to handle this because he just keeps coming back.
No, feel free to handle it. I just wanted to hop in while you had such an
bro, don't worry. Have a good one.
To further.
Oh, you know what I just realized? I need to follow you on this account. You and I haven't spoken since I lost my other account. Like,
Lord.
It was kaput. So, yeah.
Listen, new TikTok negotiations are up in the air, so we all might be gone again.
Listen, shout out to the YouTube. They're making moves over there. No, it's wild. It's wild.
But no, I just really wanted to hammer the point home. Like, I get it. I get that everybody wants to have the, well, you did this, so we're going to do this back. And they did this, so we're going to do this back. I completely get it. But your line should always be against the government when the American people are being attacked, regardless of who that favors, regardless of who that's against.
Right.
And this was a blatant violation and threat against free speech. If Jimmy Kimmel had made his joke and the network heads had said, this was gross, we detest it, you're fired, brilliant, beautiful, phenomenal, okay? Celebratory, if you will. But the fact that the FCC chairman, that's the issue, the sole issue, a government entity pressured a private network to fire someone for making jokes about the president's response to Charlie Kirk's death. That should enrage you. And it should enrage you when you see it anywhere. If a private conservative network is being threatened by the government to change something about themselves, it's still the same violation. I would have the same issue. I'd die on the same hill. Make that your line. I beg you. And that's it. Now you can handle whoever.
You know what's interesting though, before you run off, it's interesting that it seems like the people on the right have made this deal with the devil, and now they're willing to give up the Constitution, and not just the First Amendment right, but they're willing to make concessions now just about on every right that they have, just to say that they're right. And it's a sunken cost. And so, like, I keep going back and forth trying to figure out, like, where's the line? And I used to think that at least for some people it would be the Constitution, but now they're just like, well, you know what? I'm okay with it because it's happening to other people. But to Ted Cruz's point, like, yeah, it's other people right now. Like, it's great because it's Jimmy Kimmel now. But what happens when it's, conservatives in the future?
It always swings back. It always swings back. It's the same. And it's the same issue that I took with liberals who were getting really aggressive with the concept of limiting free speech and going after political opponents. 8 years ago, or whenever the case may be, the shoe eventually is put on the other foot. It's why there has to be a hard line about certain things. When you say that discrimination is okay in certain contexts, you've now created a issue where who gets to determine what discrimination and what context is okay? There has to be a hard line that makes it a no. When you say that free speech can be pulled when certain things are said in a certain context, you now have the issue with who gets to determine what that context is. And no one is in the king's chair forever. Nobody has power forever. And so you need to create a world where fairness, at the very least, is prioritized regardless of who has power. And I commend, I shouldn't have to commend, but I commend conservatives and right-wing figures who have defended that, even though the rest of their party is currently losing its mind.
Oh, but it feels so gross when I have to agree with them.
Like, I know.
It feels so icky when I have to agree with. And you know what's funny? Last thing, like Tucker Carlson, ever since he left Fox News, like the quote unquote chains are off or whatever, and he now has quote unquote grown a conscience. But that just lets me know that like he knew all of these things, and he just like literally shoved it down for the sake of money because like what are we doing?
That's the next thing I'll say, and I'll also say that to your audience. Please remember, again, regardless of where you sit on the political spectrum, conservative, democratic, whatever, that everybody has a role in life. And a lot of people are playing their role. And all of their roles are to get money out of the regular people, very unfortunately. Talking heads in political spaces like commentators, be it Tucker, be it Candace, be it Maddow, be it whoever is the left's equivalent, you know what I mean? At that level, they are debating to make money. They're talking about politics to make money. Their pipeline is to become political commentators and have a career in politics and to make money. Does that mean they're always lying? No. Does it mean they're always saying things they don't believe? No. But it does mean that that is the forefront of what they do. And that money has to be made off of regular people. Conservative commentators are doing the same thing. A lot of people in politics at the influencer and commentator level are in this for sport and in it for money. And so when you watch people say certain things or echo certain sentiments, make sure that you take time to sit with yourself and figure out what makes sense. Does this sound true? Has this person been logically consistent? Is this something that actually makes sense? Or is someone trying to make you feel a certain way so you'll pay for certain things, watch certain things, share certain things, follow certain people, dislike certain people? Pay attention. Like, conservative or Democrat, regular people, and I don't mean regular as in like not good or like not important. I mean regular as in not a commentator for a career. Your attention and your money is so valuable. That's what everyone is fighting for. And they make that money when they make you hate your neighbors, when they make you kill your neighbors, when they make you follow them into war. Like when you watch millionaires and billionaires get on social media and say, war is coming to our doorstep. We have to fight, fight, fight. Who are they going to be fighting? They're talking about you. They want you to fight, fight, fight. Like just be mindful that everyone is playing a role. It doesn't mean you can never believe them. It doesn't mean you can never trust them, but just be aware of that so you don't get taken advantage of. And now I'm done, I swear. I can monologue for decades.
No, you're good. I mean, it's the thing that I always say is you have to keep in mind when people say stuff, you know, who they are, like you just said, but also, I mean, and you can speak to this as well. Like once you get to like the influence side or the commentator side or anyone who is speaking either left, right, or whatever the case may be, the worst thing that you can be is someone that people don't have an opinion about, whether it be good or bad. You don't move the needle at all. And so everyone's looking to move the needle in one way or the other. And whether it be for something they actually believe in or something that actually benefits them, you know, they're trying to move the needle. So you got it.
All right,
I got one other call out for I got one other call out. Guys, 1.1 thousand of us hanging out right now. First and foremost, massive W's in the chat for Denisha. And guys, if you are not following Denisha, first and foremost, what the fuck are you doing? I know I had an excuse. I hadn't seen Denisha since my old account went Thanos, but you need to hit that follow button also because Denisha does finally smart people talking. You want to tell the people about that real quick?
Oh, you're so sweet. Yes, I do have a podcast called Finally Smart People Are Talking. We're in the talks. We're in the process of getting it greenlit for a bigger production, but it is on YouTube at the moment.
Girl.
Please feel free to check it out. Comment. Let me know who you want me to have on the podcast to have important conversations. And I hope you guys have a good night. I'm looking forward to continuing to watch from the audience.
Absolutely. Hey, thank you so much for coming up and sharing that. That was a breath of fresh air, especially because of the last two people I spoke with. So thank you. I appreciate you.
Have a good night.
You as well. W's in the chat for Denisha, guys. That was freaking awesome. All right. Now I guess we got to go back to slumming it. MAGA, get in the box. Get in the box. I think something that was said was like super important in the sense that we tend to actually justify the things that are happening because our side is quote unquote winning, right? And I understand even with someone who fancies himself as being a leftist, I really do, like, I want the left to win and progression to win out and for us to always to continue to do the positive things. But I'm always wary as far as like swinging the hammer too hard because yes, the pendulum always swings back and we don't want to see those type of repercussions. Also, like it's not good. It's not good for the country when we have some form of progression and then that form of progression is taken away. And like, it's a lot. I'll give you a specific example. The fact that Roe was overturned and they're quote unquote sending ABs back to the state. Like, I think that was one of the most harmful things that could have happened. And the reason why it was so harmful is because we had a set standard, we had a baseline, we had an understanding as a country, but yet we had the Heritage Foundation who put a battery in Donald Trump's back, got 3 Supreme Court justices added, and they overturned Roe just so they can say, we're going to save the white people. If you don't know what the great replacement theory is, look it up. Can you agree with that? Can you agree with what? I'm confused. Can you agree with that? I'm so confused. I'm going to send you an invite. I have no idea or I can't. Texas Rebel 72, come up and tell me what you're talking about. Can I agree with what? I'm a little bit confused. Anyway, Trump supporters, get in the box. If you're someone that supports Donald Jimothy Trump, get in the box. W's in the chat for Nightblade. Nightblade sent a $7 donation saying, light it up. tonight. He didn't say it like that, but I'm an AJ Lee fan. Light it up tonight. By the way, Supreme Court said that you can discriminate against Latinos for almost anything. Tell the dude he's an Uncle Tom piece of trash, please. That wasn't me. That was Nightblade. Nightblade said that. But, you know, W's in the chat for Nightblade. W's in the chat for Tara. Tara sent a $3 donation saying, MAGA will be in the DSM-6. I swear to God, STG. I didn't know what that means. Swear to God, love you and Erica in the chat. Happy Fridays. W's in the chat for Tara. Thank you so much for that $3 donation. W's in the chat for Shelby, who sent a $5 donation saying, Happy Friday, Santana. Love the stream tonight. Listen, we're starting off. It kind of sucked for half a second, but now we're in a good place. We're in a bit of a groove, and I'm with it. I'm absolutely with it. W's in the chat for Jeremy, who sent a $5 super chat to say, get him, Santana. Listen, you know I'm always on their heads. W's in the chat for Libby, who sent a $5 super chat to say, I bet it does hurt. Libby, you know it does hurt. You know it does. W's in the chat for Radstorm. Santana sent you an email. Yes, I have to fix the Discord link over on the tube. That's on me. That's on me. I will fix that. I apologize. I will get that fixed. W's in the chat for all the people that support the live. Guys, if you'd like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTubes and you would like to actually support, you can do so with a super chat, and I will read that out. That's a wild username.
No, it's not.
What can I call you?
L Predictor.
It looks like L Predator.
Yeah, I know. I always think of changing it because of that, but
I know.
Yeah.
How about is there another name that I can call you? Hold on 1 second. That's what I thought. Dude, I can't. There's 1,000 people in the chat right now. Talking to you specifically. You know what? I'm muting you. As a matter of fact, Texas Rebel 72. Like, you're trying to have a conversation from the chat with me. There's 1,000 people watching the live right now and commenting. There's no way I'm watching your comment. You're not talking directly to me from the chat. If you want to have a conversation, then get in a box. I'm not going to see your comments. Like, you're not special. So yeah, get up here. There we go.
W Sean.
I'm sorry, L.
No, it's okay. W Sean.
Oh, this is somebody else. This is Sean. I thought this was Texas Rebel. Okay, I guess W Sean. Who is Sean? Are you guys friends?
No, I'm just saying W him.
Sean, are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah.
L, are you a Trump?
Not like
Trump
far
supporter?
right, but you know.
Yeah, I voted Trump, but I'm going back to the Democrats in 2028.
Okay, so you don't support him anymore.
For now, yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming up.
He sounds like he's more in the middle.
Yeah, I thought I had a BOGO for a second. All right. Sean, got a question for you.
Hit me.
Why is MAGA okay with giving up their First Amendment rights? Like, how have you all gotten to the point where you don't care about freedom of speech anymore?
We never said that we don't care about freedom of speech, and I also don't claim to be MAGA. I'm not like part of the MAGA gang, but I did vote right.
Do you still support Donald Timothy Trump today?
Yeah.
Okay,
but
you're MAGA.
Okay.
Now, question for you, because you said that you guys do. So are you upset about what's been going on in multiple instances, not just with Jimmy Kimmel, because yeah, we can talk about Jimmy Kimmel, but how the troops in the Pentagon are being punished if they say anything negative that pertains to Charlie Kirk, how teachers are being told that they can only say positive things, how, you know, there's people on the right who are literally trying to attack people on the left and DOXX them just for the things that they're saying. And also, like, people on the right on TikTok are super sensitive. Like, that's a weird thing, right?
So I don't think that, like, people, if you're just saying negative things, like, you have the right to your own opinion. Like, you can have your opinion. That's fine. I could care less one way or another. It don't affect me what your opinion is. But, like, the people who are getting DOXX are some of them are the people that were out celebrating, like posting that they were happy and that he was assassinated.
I don't think they're saying that they were happy that he was assassinated, but they're happy that he's unalive, and I'm good with that.
And it's, you're right to be good with that, but also what the right is doing is basically telling these companies that they're going to boycott them without actually going out and having to boycott. It's more so, hey, you are employing this person who posted this. We don't support that. We're not going to give you our business. And
But
those companies at the end of the day,
you don't see how like hypocritical that is, though.
But
because
people,
when you talk about
people have boycotted. People have boycotted all kinds of businesses for having people employed there that they don't believe should be employed at that business, or that they didn't like because they said something like extremely racial, whatever it may be. And businesses have been boycotted before because people didn't agree with either what the business said themselves or what the business believes.
DOXXing someone is not a boycott.
It's just a more efficient.
It's literally threatening to put their information, their private information, public, that makes them a target. That's what DOXing is. That's not boycotting someone.
But when you were
reporting
you're
to their
speaking about
employers
reporting it to their
more.
employers.
Say it again?
When you say those people are losing their jobs for it, for like what they said, it's basically a boycott. It's just a more efficient way of doing it.
That's not how boycotts work.
I understand that's not how it works, but it's a more efficient way of doing it.
You can't just say that, oh, this is a boycott now. Like, that's not how it works. You guys have the right swears that you guys swear that you're going to boycott certain things, but you don't know how boycott. The right threatened to boycott Harvard.
Look at Cracker Barrel.
You guys literally threatened to boycott Harvard. How many people do you think get into Harvard?
Not very many, so that's kind of
exactly. So you think Harvard gave a damn that you guys said that you're going to boycott Harvard?
Nah,
like that doesn't even make sense. You guys don't understand how boycotts work. You know how boycotts work? Boycotts work the
How's
way
Bud Light?
Yeah, fuck Bud Light. Boycotts work the way when, let's say, a company, let's say an actual retail giant, let's say a retail giant by the name of Target, right? Let's just call them Target. Let's say that Target back in 2020 actually said that, hey, Black people, we with you. We got your back. We're going to actually bring in more diversity, and we're going to actually open it up to everyone. And they implement different departments that actually benefit multiple race, religion, sex, everything, everybody. And they become super beneficial from it. Like they actually make money hand over fist. And let's say then this company in 2024 makes a decision because there's a new president elected. Let's just call him Ronald Trump, right? Ronald Trump wins the election, and Target is like, Ronald Trump doesn't like the fact that we deal with diversity. You know what? We're going to roll back our diversity programs, and we're going to end our diversity programs. And let's say this company called Target actually ends their diversity programs to appease Ronald Trump. And then people say, you know what? Oh, that's how you want to play? You don't think that diversity matters? You don't think that inclusion matters? You don't think that equality matters? Cool. We aren't going to come and patronize your business anymore. And then you do that to the tune of $15 billion. So much so that Target loses so much money and they can't figure out how to make that money back.
Then you guys did it right.
That's a boycott.
Yeah, y'all did it right.
That's a boycott, not actually spreading someone's personal information on the internet. Or you can even take let's say a startup coffee company.
Paying in the United States of America. And it's time that the Democratic Party stands up, be aggressive to fight this failed president and the failed Republicans that are destroying everything we have.
Ms. Kador.
I want to fight against Donald Trump like everyone else. But the reality is, regardless if we are fighting or not, there are people that are dealing with real issues every single day on the ground. And these are common sense issues that need to have common sense results. It is common sense that when we have a weather event, we want our lights to stay on. It is common sense that we want our neighborhoods to be safe. It is common sense that we want access to healthcare and that we shouldn't have to have anyone telling women what to do with their bodies. We have to stop looking at policy issues that are so too far to the left or too far to the right. What is happening in the middle? What do everyday Americans and everyday Houstonians care about? And we have to start doing things that just make sense for everyone, regardless of your background, regardless of your political affiliation. This is the only way that we win back all of the Americans that sat out on the sidelines. The reality is that people are suffering, they are hurting, and they want to see how we are going to help make their lives better. I am here to make lives better for every Houstonian.
Mr. Menifee.
We have to make sure that we have an America where everybody can afford opportunity to live out the American dream. There used to be a time in this country where you could work 40 hours a week, get the house to 2 cars, send your kids to do better than you did, and be able to retire at a reasonable age. But we see all throughout this country, expenses are increasing and the dollar is staying stagnant. That's why we need to increase jobs in our communities and workforce development programs. That's why we need to stop the crippling credit card debt and medical debt that is harming so many of our communities. But we already know we can't get anywhere unless we take care of what's going on in the White House. And I think about the legacy of this seat. In the early 1970s, when the late Congresswoman Barbara Jordan stood up at the House Judiciary Committee and gave one of the most compelling political speeches you will ever hear, it was about Richard Nixon and the Watergate scandal. That speech set off a firestorm in this country, and it led to the resignation of the President of the United States. Now, Richard Nixon was corrupt, but he ain't got nothing on Donald Trump. When I go to D.C., I'm going to continue the spirit of the late Congresswoman Barbara Jordan, and we're going to fight back against this president who's doing so much harm to our communities.
Ms. Edwards, would you like to offer a rebuttal?
One thing I learned while serving as your at-large Houston City Council member is that you've got to walk and chew gum at the same time. That means you've got to be able to deal with the problems as they come your way, and there are many problems, but you also have to seize the opportunity you might just miss if you have no vision and don't look up and look forward. There are so many issues ranging from healthcare, education, economic stability that are on this ballot, but you are the most important aspect of what's on this ballot.
Guys and ladies, as a member of the minority party in Congress, you got an uphill battle. And the reality is, many of you have already mentioned the fact that the Trump administration has pursued policies that directly impact Black and brown communities negatively, whether it's unemployment that they've created with the firing of federal workers, or whether it's dismantling SNAP and Medicare. The list goes on, and then undermining our whole voting process. With that in mind, candidates often talk a good game, but it's harder to make it happen. The question that I have is, how do you plan to work with Republicans in the House to ensure the needs of the 18th Congressional District are addressed and you deliver positive results? With that, Slater.
Thank you. Like you said, it's common sense working. We've been in Washington, D.C. 4 times. We talked to Republicans that's sitting right now and Democrats. Unfortunately, they can't come out because everybody, what would happen if they did. But you have to build that coalition. Because it's not just what your one vote is, or it's a tit for tat, or somebody's behind you pulling your puppet strings telling you what to do. You have to start from the community, make a demand. Social Security cuts, it doesn't look at race. Benefits being cut doesn't look at race. So the same people that is affecting our minorities, guess what? It's affecting them too. But we got to get out there and talk to them. We got to get out there and give them something safe to come over here and talk to as well, and let them know that we represent all of them. It's the Republicans and it's people that are libertarian and so on and so forth in District 18. So it transcends race and it transcends party. But the most important thing is to talk to them and work with them from the grass up and give them a seat at the table as well. The biggest thing Donald Trump wanted to do is to go against each other. White, black, Latino, old, young, transition. We got to stop it. Everybody deserves a seat at this table in District 18. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Mr. Martin.
I always say that the best bipartisanship is a retirement party for every Republican member of Congress that's currently there. This is not normal times. These Republicans don't want to work with us. These guys are terrified of the Trump endorsement. They're scared of him. They can't even look at their own shadow because they're so terrified of what he will say about them, what he will tweet about them. They are sick and scared. And I think that we need a movement of people across this country that have the backbone to say that. I'm willing to go and stand up against these guys, to campaign against them all around the Houston area, to campaign against them in their own districts. But it's not just there. We have 3 Republicans elected at large on the city council in the city of Houston. I am committing to making sure I put every bone in my body to get them off. We need people that have the fire, that's willing to fight. And I don't care if you have an R next to your name, wherever you are, I'm coming for you and I'm your congressman.
Kador.
When I served as the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation Energy Fellow, it was during the Trump administration. And for 4 very, very long years, I worked with Republicans in the House and in the Senate to make sure that we were keeping Houston first. Regardless of who was in the White House and who had control of the Congress, I made sure that jobs came back to this community. I made sure that Black and brown children had opportunities. I made sure that our schools were being well funded and that organizations such as the Ensemble Theater and the Urban League and Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater were able to receive corporate support. Because at the end of the day, people do not care what party you are when they need your help, when they need your assistance. They need to know that you are going to pick up the phone and do what you need to do. One thing I learned from working with Congresswoman Jackson Lee as an intern is that we don't take no for an answer. I don't care who's in the office. I don't care who's in control. I'm going to get what I need to get done for the people that I represent. And you can sit here and be mad all you want, but the reality is I know how to navigate systems better than they do.
Menifee.
Your job as a member of Congress is to operate with a scalpel, not with an axe. There are days where it's going to be important to fight. I know this because we heard the question about the layoffs that happened at the federal level. I sued Donald Trump over that, and we got an early win in that case that delayed those layoffs for months. I've done the fighting, and there's not a single person on this stage who has worked harder to get Democrats elected across the state of Texas, not in the future, but in the past. But there are some days where that means collaboration. Out in Carverdale, when they tried to expand a landfill more deeply into the community, I worked with a Republican Harris County commissioner to stop that landfill from being pushed into that historically Black neighborhood. When an e-cigarette company was targeting our kids to try to sell them vaping products and get them hooked and get them sick, I worked with the Republican Attorney General to go after that company. And we brought $20 million back to Harris County to protect those kids. There are days where you're going to fight. And I don't think there's a single person up here who can say that they haven't fought like I did. But my number one job is to serve the community. And on different days, that's going to be collaborating to get things done and to bring resources back home.
Edwards.
I have been fighting for people of this community for many years. And in fact, 8 years ago was something known as Harvey hit our community. It was the second worst disaster in United States history. And of course, one of the things that was